So, welcome back to KB Spot. I have the pleasure today of being joined by one of the first paranormal Black authors that I had read. She has created a complex and extensive world in her series Deadly Secrets. She still made vampires and werewolves very sexy. So if you haven't read it, make sure by the time we finish this interview, this little chat, that you click the link in my bio or down below so you can get your copy of this fantastic series. So, Miss Bowser, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, good, good. I'm
Good.
excited to have you here. Like
Thank
I
you for
said,
having me on.
you're welcome. Like I said, you were one of the first Black paranormal authors that I'd read. Until you, I can honestly say that I really had only read paranormal, the vamps and the werewolves, and creating this whole world were by
Right.
non-Black creators.
Of
And
course.
then a
Me
lot of
too.
them were, and I love a good storyline. I'm not gonna lie. I love paranormal. Something about them, something
It's the
about it I
alpha.
love.
It's the
But
alpha of it.
yeah, it's so animalistic. I love it. Pun intended. Um, but your series came along, and I was like, okay, Michael, I like him. I like him a lot. So
Yeah.
many book bays now
So
that it's disgusting.
it
Like
is it is terrible. I don't know who's my favorite now. I don't
yeah,
know.
but you know what was funny? What was the brother's name? The one who wanted to destroy them.
Damon.
Damn. But I liked him too, and I don't know why.
So listen, everybody had a love-hate with Damon.
Yeah.
And by the last book that I just released in May, everybody's in love with him. So by the time you get there, you're going to be officially
Oh my God.
fangirling with
Yeah.
Damon.
Even when they were talking about him eviscerating families, I was like, yes, you tear that throat out. You better tear it out.
He was
Yeah.
doing his thing. It's something about a bad boy, right? Like,
I think
just like
so.
the
I'm like, he was just, he
it's
was
those
very
anti-heroes.
powerful. Yeah. Yeah. He was powerful. And you know what? As far as bad as he was, he knew what he wanted. He wasn't crazy like people made him out to be. So
Hmm.
again,
He was straight on his path of what he wanted.
yeah.
He did not diverge from that.
Yeah, he was everything. I'm excited whew, to read what's next because and I'm behind, like severely behind in the series, but he's hard to forget. I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
Team
I
Damon. Team
I'm a
Damon.
book thought right now. I have like 14 or 15 book bays and he's in there too.
Oh yeah,
How
book
did you
bait.
come up with that series? Like what prompted you to create that?
So you know how when the whole like Twilight wave came through, but before then I was always a reader.
Yeah.
And I've always loved paranormal, but I had kind of like fell off from reading, and it got to be more of, dang, I wish I could find a book that
Mm,
was somebody that looked like me, like a person of color, just like something, even though I love these books or whatever. But
mhm.
it was like, I want someone that looks like me.
Yeah.
And then you hear other people saying the same thing. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to write this book. And I was like,
You
I'm going
did.
to write a book. And my best friend, and she's just like, well, I want to read something with a girl that looks like me, like a full figured, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So I did it. And I did it without thinking that it was actually going to become this large series.
Because how many books are in it now?
17.
Oh, I'm definitely behind. Yeah, I'm
So
definitely
17 and a spinoff.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Whew, yeah. And you know what I like in the two is the world that you created. I mean, the genre is similar, but um, the characters and the stories are vastly different.
Yes.
I hadn't really been all into a paranormal series like this since the Black Dagger Brotherhood by J.R. Ward.
Yes,
Like
J.R. Ward.
that's just
Yes, yeah.
I was like nobody could touch that. Nobody could touch it. And and then came across Deadly Secrets and I was like, you touched it.
Because I was
Yeah.
reading those books and it was like you had to have the next one and then the next one and then the next one. And what I liked about it was that it wasn't like the typical vampire story.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is really, really good. Like, I can agree with you on that.
Yeah.
That's
And
a
I think
good story.
what you both did really well was made them part of like we were part of their families. Which a good
Right.
book will do is make those characters feel like they're, your their extended family or
Exactly.
sitting
Like they
around
will
and
say the
wondering,
same things you will say.
yeah, and you're
I think
wondering, I wonder
that's
how
part.
Michael and what's his love,
Taria.
how they're doing during the pandemic. How many how many how many cubs do they have now? Or, whatever. Just you just
Right.
want to wonder what they're doing during the pandemic. That's how you think of these characters in these series like this. Because the
Hmm.
world you create is just really so it's real and it's complex and has
Right.
multiple layers. Just like we have a bunch of, just like in real life, and we have drama and
Multifaceted
things.
people. It's just
Yeah.
drama after drama, and they do not stop talking. So that's why it's
Potty
so much.
mouths. I thought
Yeah.
my mouth was filthy. And
No, their mouth is
yeah,
horrible.
yeah, yeah, mine is. But this book, I was like, I felt right at home on this one. It was F this
But it
and B
was just
that.
like
And I was like, yeah,
I tried to view it as if I was in this position, how would would react to a
yeah.
situation like that? How would you react to somebody telling you I'm a vampire or I'm a
Mhm.
werewolf? You
Yeah.
know, what are you gonna say?
I like when they were even in the airport when they came across the came across the girls and they were like, he is staring. The girls were like, he's staring at you. Oh, I don't want him. I don't like him. And next thing you know, y'all over there bumping uglies, and falling in love. I said it. Just age
Yeah, I
differently,
think
really.
I
Yeah.
think Latoya was just like, it is what it is. I'm on vacation.
Let's get it.
I'm just gonna do what I want to do
Yeah.
type thing. She wasn't, I don't think she was thinking about no falling in love and
Yeah.
all
It
that.
was, I loved it. It was really good. What, so was this your first release, Deadly Secrets? Was this your first one?
So yes, Deadly Secrets Awakening was my first release.
Okay. And how
And
difficult or how easy was that process? Because you released
uh,
independent.
independent.
Yeah.
Writing the book was easy. But the process after that with not knowing anything, stepping into that publishing world, um, not knowing what resources that are available or sites to go to, that was challenging.
Yeah.
And it was challenging for a lot of years until I finally, figured it out for myself on, you need good editing. You got to find people that you trust. Not everyone that says they're an editor is an
Is an
editor.
actual editor. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like a trial by error, and
Mhm.
you make mistakes but you learn from them.
Yeah.
um so like the process of publishing and all that and marketing, which is a big thing,
Hmm.
I know
Yeah.
it's not easy. And then we know readers, because I'm a reader, we don't think about things like that. We want, okay, when's the next book coming out?
Yeah. Give it to me now.
So
I need it. Yeah.
so it's like, you got to write the next book, but you also have to promote, just maintenance on a lot of things, making sure other stuff is working on schedule. It's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I did not think of
Yeah.
when I was writing the book.
I always tell authors, well, and I usually work with a lot of new authors. I always
Mhm.
tell them, well, writing the book was tough, but in the grand scheme of things, that might have been the easiest part.
That
And
is the easiest part.
yeah, you're going to hate me by the time this is over. I'm going to get on your last nerve. But We're going to get you out there. We're going to get a marketing strategy together. We're going to get some promotional things going on. And when we're done working together, you'll know what you're doing. And I'm still learning. Technically, I'm probably still a novice too, but um, I love knowledge sharing. And
Right. I
so
mean,
I'm
if you can
always,
bring two people together,
yeah,
this person might have a set of knowledge on one thing,
yep.
that person has a set of knowledge, and you bring that together,
And start building
it
your
makes,
community.
yes, it makes things so much easier. And then when you find the right people to be around and that you don't mind asking a question, that's just like, I'll ask you a question out the blue.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, hey, you know how to, you know, to just help each other. I think that's like the biggest thing
Because it's enough out
in
here.
our
And I say
community.
that all the time, like just like a lot of people, there's enough out here for all of us to quote unquote eat. We don't have to hoard anything.
It
We
really
need to
is.
support you or support someone who's doing something similar to what I'm doing, because
Right.
even though we're doing the same thing, we're not doing the same thing, because you're
Exactly.
you and I'm me. So we're still going to be, it's still
It's
going to be
something going to
different.
be different.
Yeah.
That's what I say to a lot of authors. I'm like, you may write paranormal too.
Mhm.
That's not going to stop that reader from buying your book
Right.
if they buy my book.
Right. Exactly.
Because they're going to finish that book and they're going to be looking for another book
Hmm.
to read. So, like you said, it is enough room out here for everyone
Everybody.
to eat.
Yeah.
It definitely is. And I feel like if we could all just come together as a community to just
Yeah. In a
go
genuine, real
together,
way.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We would all be fine. It'd be so much knowledge being shared.
Yeah. I, I,
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. Um, so what do you consider, and I've been asking people, what do they consider success to be? And do you feel successful at this point? Was it just creating and publishing that first book? Or, do you feel successful in what you're doing now? As
Um,
opposed to maybe when you first started?
I honestly, I felt successful when I released my last book in May. Even though I've had so many books published,
Hmm.
I still didn't feel that level of success
Mm.
than what I felt with my last release.
What was different
Um,
about it?
I had more time and effort to put into it,
Hmm.
um, going over it, making sure that it was perfect. There'll always be something,
Yeah.
but perfect enough.
Yeah.
And then putting together an actual marketing plan was a big thing.
Yeah.
And having the time and space to do it without feeling rushed and actually taking my time,
Yeah.
um, developing the story, putting it together, laying it out just to make sure that it goes off without a hitch.
Yeah.
And then you can just sit back and just see how it does without pulling your hair out trying to rush to release something.
Yeah.
And I felt like that's how I did all my other books.
Hmm.
I'm just rushing to get it done because people want it. And you have to come to realize that they might want it, but they will want that quality more
I
because they're going to get a
definitely
better
agree.
story.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Because I find that sometimes when if the projects are rushed and you're putting out, unless you've written a book and you've chopped it up into two or three pieces where you want to kind of release it in parts.
Hmm.
Um, if you're rushing to put those things out, that's when you get those, oh, it was a good book, but all those grammatical errors just,
Right.
and
Hmm.
then it makes it appear as if you don't care about your work. And then that may affect some readers. I know, I always caution people when they ask me like to review their books, because I look at everything, not just entertainment. And
Hmm.
so, like, I've had people say, or had one person say, well, you shouldn't look at, you know, you should only look at it to be entertained. You should look at the other stuff. Because clearly you're
Well,
not.
everybody looks at it
I'm thinking,
differently.
yeah, everybody looks at everything. So if I'm giving you a 5, that means the entire book was on point, from punctuation to the concept to the plot, everything worked well together. Um, but if I gave you a three, I like the story, but it may have had some flaws in it. Doesn't mean it wasn't a good story. Doesn't mean somebody else isn't going to give you a higher score. But I
Right.
think like when it comes to the quality, I definitely want you to take your time. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
may be stalking your page silently, but uh, take your time. And I think too, I love it when authors engage with their audiences, and you are one of the
Right.
ones that actually do a really good job of
I
getting
try
people
to.
engaged. I see you on Facebook hopping around in those groups. I don't always comment, but I look, and I see you on your page, and I see you in other people's comments, like other platforms that I follow. We follow the same
Mhm.
platforms. I mean,
Right.
you're so active. I'm like, wow, because you really do. You do a good. I think you do a really good job at engagement.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It
it's
is so it
impressive.
is not as easy as people think that it is. Trying to balance being active in writing,
Mhm.
especially in fantasy,
Yeah,
because the books tend to be longer.
too.
So so it is so not easy,
Yeah,
but it also feels good when you do,
yeah,
when you can engage with readers, and find new readers by
yeah,
just engaging in something. Because someone will be like, "Hey, I didn't know that you were an author. What do you write? Can you
yeah.
send me your catalog or something like that?" But engaging with readers is fun. You always learn something. You get to hear what they got out of your book.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you get people that will make up a whole different story,
A fan fiction.
with
Yes.
with your
Yes.
characters. And they're just like, this person should be with that person because I see them, blah,
I
blah.
love those.
And
Yeah.
I love it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't mind it at all. I always tell people if you have questions, just hit me in my inbox. I will get back to you.
Yes.
Leave a comment. I'll get back to you. If I don't see it right away, I will get back to you.
Do you
So,
notice a difference in your Audible listeners as opposed to your Kindle or paperback readers?
I've seen my Audible listeners go up a little more. More people are
Mhm.
starting to get into it. I know me and you love audiobooks.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
more people are starting to get into audio format.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy about it because I'm like, you guys just don't know what you're missing out on.
Yeah.
And but far as paperback and Kindle, it's still probably 90%,
Okay.
90 to 95%.
Yeah. I think audio is gonna have a resurgence, and I think it's gonna
I
take
think
off.
it's gonna explode sooner or
Yeah.
later. It's
Yeah.
more and more people fall like, oh, do you have the audio version? I'm like, that book isn't out yet. I
I
just
always,
waited
you know
for.
what? And I was telling someone else, I said the best tip that I got this year was from Val from Brown Sugar Reads. She
Mhm.
showed me how to have Alexa read my Kindle
Read to
books to
you.
me. And I was like,
I
Alexa,
tell I tell
you
people
can
that
read to
all the time, especially when they get into my books and they're at book 4 and the other books aren't out yet
me?
for
Yeah.
audio. And I'm like, listen, you can have Alexa read to you.
I was like, you
It
have
is so good. And it's not like, I mean, it's not bad. It's not audio, but
no, but it gets the
it's
job
not,
done.
it gets the job done and it's
Yeah.
not bad. I really think she has a good voice.
It's
Reading
soothing
this.
because
It
I will
is.
put on um, a book that I've already read, but I'll have her
Mhm.
because I know there aren't going to be loud inflections. There's no yelling or anything or
Right.
loud music that's going to burst out. And I'll put that book on and use that to go to sleep because my mind just doesn't shut off.
Yep.
So, because I'm always talking in here, the
I
husband and
know.
I, we got like 20,000 personalities. So if I have Alexa on, she's talking so my brain can shut off. But I was like, I got to give Val something really great for Christmas
Hmm.
because that was
It's
the
the
best tip
best thing.
I got
Yeah.
all year.
Who taught me
Yeah.
that? Leisha McCoy.
Uh,
So she's
I
like,
like her
you can
books too.
have,
Yeah.
yeah, just like you can have, your books right back to you. And I'm like, what? You can do what? And she's like, yeah, all you have to do. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I
Ever
love
since
that.
then. Ever
Um,
since then.
So you are an author,
I am.
mother,
Mm,
not yet,
not yet.
okay. Wife.
Hmm.
Um, what else don't we know? I don't know why I thought you had a baby, a teen or something. I
Probably
saw.
because I claim um one of my cousins as my baby. That's
Okay,
like
that may be.
my
I'm
heart.
always trying to put babies on other people, not myself. Okay, but I'm always trying to give other people babies. I'm like, because Crystal, my love of books,
Mhm.
she posted something about babies. I was like, oh my God, you're pregnant. Like, girl, no, it's a book. I was like, well, don't do that to me. I'm always trying to give somebody a baby. So
That's not a bad thing.
yeah,
I love
I
babies.
want it for other, just like marriage.
You want it
I'm
for
trying to
other
marry
people.
off other people. I'm trying to marry off other people. I'm trying to get other people pregnant, adopt, whatever. I just want to enjoy it from afar and admire you from afar and those babies. But I'm always
Right.
putting babies on other people because honestly, I put like two babies on you.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how. Don't tell your husband. I don't know how, but I did.
Oh
I don't know.
Lord.
I have to think about what I even saw.
Like where
Uh,
those babies at?
because your honey is gonna be like, you got two babies and I didn't know.
Two babies.
Yeah, no. How 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 does he handle when you are in your writing modes? Does it
Um,
infringe on any of his honey time?
he more so tells me to eat.
Mm. Could you
Eat.
forget while you're working?
Did you eat?
Yeah.
Did you drink? Shouldn't you stand up? Like that's basically what it is. Like, okay, it's time for a break. Because you
Yeah.
know how you're in your zone. So time just
Yeah.
slips by.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you're writing at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then it's like 10 p.m. and you've
Wow.
been like in this spot all day, and you're like, oh, I was supposed to do this, I was supposed to do this. So he kind of like balances that out for me to remind me, hey, it's time to, shut that down, give your mind a break.
It's good
You
having
know.
a partner who is understanding of what it is that you're doing and
Mhm.
supports your passions. I think that those positive relationships reflect in our work
Yes,
when we have that
yeah,
at home. I don't
definitely.
have it yet.
You
I
will.
got my sisters
And
that
then
do.
I could be like, is that baby there yet?
It is not. It is never. But if by baby you mean Yorkie pup, sure, I will get one of those. I will even get a fish and name him Beauregard or Humphrey.
Oh my
But
goodness.
this is a playground. No babies. Yeah. Um, but I am going to start taking applications, I think, though, in 2022.
There you go. 2022. Oh, yeah, it is 21. So,
23, 24, somewhere up in there.
oh, come on now. Let's back it up.
Yes, indeed.
2022, mid 22, mid 22.
If by mid 22 you mean December 22, I got you. I'll
I'm
start
gonna
putting those
remember
out
that.
there.
I'm gonna remember that. I'm coming back around December 2022 and say, hey, you remember is your applications open yet?
I would say I probably was drunk. I don't even know what you're talking about, even though I don't drink. Yeah. So but yeah, I always I ask people that about spouses and how what they think how important it is to have a spouse who supports what you do and your passions and
Yeah.
stuff. I see a lot of relationships where some people who are doing really good things or have potential to do really good things don't necessarily have a partner that's supporting it, and then it starts to manifest itself in negative ways with their work, and it cuts
Yeah.
off their creativity, I think.
That would cut off creativity. Any type of drama or just outside interference to where you're bringing it in the household
Yeah,
will mess with your creativity.
yeah. has the pandemic and the current social and cultural environment that we are experiencing, especially as Black people, has that affected your creativity at all?
Um,
I
far
would
as
say in a negative way, yeah.
the pandemic, no, because it actually, I mean, I was already an introvert anyway. So that actually did not affect me at all, staying in the house to write. So I was fine. Far as what's going on climate wise, it did kind of take away from me focusing on what I need to focus on writing because it was so much happening
Yeah.
with us that it was just overwhelming
Because
almost.
it was back to back. Like,
It was back to
yeah.
back to back, and you're sitting there and you can't believe it. Like you believe it,
Yeah.
but you can't believe it, and you're just like, wow,
Because you're like, it's 2021 and
right.
I'm still not safe to go outside. I still have to
And I
help my
say it every
kids.
time. I'm like, see,
Yeah.
this is why I stay in the house. Every time something happens, I'm like, this is why I stay in the house.
Yeah.
This is why I don't go
And even
anywhere.
then, you just tear, even staying in your house, if you hear something, okay, am I still safe in my house? So I can
Right.
relate
That's
to
what
that
I'm
a lot.
saying. Like sometimes you're looking like, I mean, I can't even be in my house without something going on.
Yeah.
'Cause we've seen that the whole 2020
Yeah. We
and
had some
2021.
very, um, I don't want to say uncomfortable. We started having those conversations, like, and I say we, my sister and started having conversations with our kids because we co-parent, even though we had partners, we co-parented.
Mhm.
Um, but we had those conversations of if you get stopped by the police, starting like at 5 years old, you can do
But
this.
you
Just because
have
they can do it, you can't. And at five, kids don't understand that, they can't do something that their non-black friends can do, and um, not expect some type of consequences or something. So,
and
and
that's the
to
sad
think
part is that
they're
we have to do that.
yeah. And I'm like, the boys that we were having those conversations with, they were five at the time. They're now 23, and we're
Wow.
having the same conversation.
Still having the same
Yeah,
conversation.
which is just crazy to me. So,
Hmm.
a whole lot going on. I just pray that everything starts to get better and improve for all of
I
us,
pray that it
men,
does
women,
because
black
it's
men and women, and we
especially
start
with
loving each
everything
other.
else. Yeah, what else is going on? It's just like there's so much negativity right now.
I'm like, get back to the love on each other some, and appreciate each other and respect each other.
Right.
Because if
Yeah,
we don't, nobody else is going to.
exactly. Like I feel like us as a people are trying to get back to
Hmm.
that um with supporting each other.
Hmm.
But then on the other hand, it's still you can't control everybody. So you
Yeah,
still have
the
that
poison is still
punch.
there.
Yeah,
That
it's
poisonous,
still there.
yeah, it's just that poisonous thinking that's in limited thinking that's still there. So my last question: do you feel like you are actively sitting in your purpose?
I actually do. I think about that a lot. And this is what I'm happy in doing. I put out a lot of posts, especially on Instagram, talking about that, or saying, do what you're supposed to be doing.
Hmm.
You can't wait around. I had a lot of very hesitant about doing that because you're just so used to the normal way of things that you don't think that you can step out and grab what you know you want. And sometimes you just have to go by faith and just tell yourself, hey, I can do this. This is what I want to do. And I don't feel that stress or pressure or I don't want to do this anymore. Or, that feeling when you're like, I do not feel like getting up and going to
Yeah,
work.
because you got nothing left to give. Yeah.
Right. You're just so over it. I don't have that feeling because
Mhm.
I always have a new idea
Yeah.
on what I want to write about. Even if it's this series, because it's so broad that I can take a character and make another series.
Yeah. I have a
So
lot to
it's
work on.
always something. And now I have the time to
Mhm.
actually do that purpose. And it's just so, what's the word? Relaxing,
Yeah,
freeing, just the peace that you get with it, knowing what your purpose
yeah,
is not something that you can buy.
yeah.
You can't put a price on it.
I agree. Yes. Thank you. Well, is there anything that we should be looking forward to for 2022?
So 2022, I should be releasing, I know for sure, two books in the series. One is a novella, and then the next book would be the Crown series book four.
Okay.
Um, I do have one coming up in November, which isn't the it's not the Deadly Secret series, but
Okay.
it's my zombie series. I can't remember if I told you I wrote
Oh.
a horror series called Dreamwalker. And so this was the first book.
Oh, the eye.
Remember
I
that?
remember the eyes. Yes.
Yep. And the second book. So the
Mhm.
third book is coming out.
Okay. I
In
have those. I
November.
haven't read them. I know. I told myself, but yes. Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm working on that. And you know how we were talking about, talking with fans.
Hmm.
A lot of fans are like, can you please make it longer? Because I originally just made the book to be like I guess a novella, or maybe not even a novella, just a short book, like
Yeah.
40,000 to 45,000 words, because it wasn't something that I thought really was going to take off. Like, I don't know
Well, they proved
how
you
people,
wrong.
right? I didn't know. I honestly didn't know. Because I'm like, I know that I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But as a female, who else likes stuff like that? Right, exactly.
And
So
is
you
it on?
never
Are they on
know.
Audible?
They aren't. I really want to get them on audio because it will be so creepy on
Look, I
audio.
would audition, but I'm still fairly new. So I'm working on. I'm a baby narrator. Um,
Woo,
I'm working on my. Thank
congratulations.
you. I'm working on my voice acting, practicing and stuff. But
I think you'll be fine.
I'll be
You'll be
maybe
good,
I'll be
but
ready by book 3 or 4. We'll see.
okay. Okay. Yeah, I really do want to get those on audio because they are quite creepy, as people say,
Well, I
which
would.
I don't see it like that, but
Yeah, I'll let. And you know what? And the funny thing is that I'm not really a fan of horror, and I don't normally like zombies.
so
But
that's
after
what a
reading,
lot of people said.
but Alicia McCoy, I think she changed my mind.
Oh, the
She had that new zombie 6 book series, and I was like,
yeah.
look,
Cause see, that was the
zombies
thing,
are
is
hot.
that we wrote zombie books like for like a box set.
Uh huh.
Um, just because we were like, let's see how it goes or whatever. So she wrote a zombie book. I did my book, and Joy Minor, she did a zombie book
Okay.
called Turned Out.
Is this box set available still?
We nope, it's gone. It was just for 90 days. And then this was last year, just to see how it goes. I was like, oh, if people like it, then I'll do another book.
And they like it.
And yeah, they were like, oh, where's book two? And blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, let me get this out. And now I'm like, I gotta get book three out before they come from
They
my
get
head.
you.
So
It's a surprising number of. I don't say surprising number. That's not the right. That's not the right phrase. But I was surprised at how many of us liked horror in our books, and I mean like
mhm, I
grotesque,
did.
gut
I
wrenching. And
love
I'm
it.
like, I have I think her name is Jen Nicole. Like I don't even look at. I know the 2 books you just showed me, but I don't look at the cover of the second one because that freaks me out.
At least
And
you didn't look at like when I do the because I had it animated and so the eye blinks.
yeah, I know. I have to be because sometimes I'll do this. Like I'll have the book the thing up, and then I'll see and I go, oh no, I gotta scroll past that. You see out of the peripheral if you're going past it. So I'm just like, okay, I went past it. Um,
So I have had a
that
lot of
creeps
people.
me
It's like
out.
I was not gonna read. I do not like zombies. I do not like horror, but they actually fell in love with the characters in that book because it is zombies and it is horror,
Yeah.
but it's kind of in a different way.
And that's probably why I hadn't read it yet. That's probably it.
Prob-
I'm not gonna lie, that's probably it.
Yeah, but
But
it's like
hopefully we'll
told
see.
in a different way to where it's kind of like on a more fantasy type level.
Okay.
So
I
you'll
need
be
to
like,
get
run,
to
run, run. This will be you. Run, run, run. She's so stupid. That's how you're gonna be.
because I did that with Leisha's books too. I was like, why are you just standing there? Go run. Yeah. So yeah. So I'm gonna get caught up on your catalog because I like I said, I am severely behind and I know that.
I can't wait.
But
I
yeah,
can't wait.
I gotta get caught up on all of it. When I
I
say my
know, and you're gonna have to read the spinoff and
I
everything.
know it's too many damn burn
Because
books,
that
but
was
I love all
I
of
don't
them.
know if you can see it, the spinoff in Alpha's Queen.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't have that. I don't have that.
That came out in August.
Oh yeah, then I definitely don't have it. Because what'll happen is I'll see the books, I'll one click them on
Hmm.
Kindle, and then forget that I have them. And I keep buying new books.
That's all of us.
Yeah, I gotta yeah, I'm like, yeah,
I got a whole backlog of
yeah,
TBR
yeah.
books that I need to read. So that I gotta take a month off from writing to just get through that.
I have that and I'm just like my family is probably not gonna appreciate any more damn boxes showing up. And it's like, why is this box so heavy? I don't know. What is
I
that?
don't know
Dirt in
what's
the
in there. What
box?
is that?
I'll take it. Just drop it in my just put it in my space, put it in my office,
Right.
knowing darn well I just bought some
I
books and
know.
some other stuff I wasn't supposed to get.
I was just sitting here like I need to buy a bookshelf. I need another bookshelf.
Can you order me one too? Look, can you order me one too? Because I was like, my nephew was graceful enough to gracious enough to put up my bookshelves because we had to move
Oh,
during the
good.
pandemic. And so he put up my bookshelves. And then I was like, he was like, okay, well, all your books are put up. And I was like, oh, let me get all of them. Well, there's 5 boxes over there still that need to be. He's talking about you don't have any more space. Leave them in the box. I was like, okay.
Is it?
And don't buy anything else until you put those books. I was like,
Oh,
okay.
oh, I think I remember that day.
I've been yeah.
'Cause you
We
had to
talked.
post about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And then I
He's
ended
like,
up
I
getting
just
them.
got in trouble. I
I
just got
just
in
got them
trouble
sent to my
over
P.O. box so nobody could see them.
here. I try to be the first one out the house. I'm like, let me get this
Yeah.
box.
Because Amazon coming here wasn't good all the time. I got a P.O. box. I just got them shipped to the P.O. box so I could just pretend to run an errand. I gotta go
Mm-hmm.
get gas.
They know what's going on.
Yeah, I gotta go get gas. AKA I'm going to get my books from the
I gotta
UPS
get gas.
office. Yeah. So
People that don't go out the house. I gotta go put
I
gas in the car.
know. I I'm an introvert. I know people don't get it, but like my son and I, the pandemic for us was easy because we always are in the house anyway. And
Yes.
we weren't I was really blessed with a great kid because he doesn't club. He hates technology. He's like an 85-year-old man. He hates technology. He doesn't club, doesn't drink, no smoking, no nothing. His friends, they're just like him, like little old men sitting on the porch. Get out of my yard, that kind of thing.
I'm
Um,
telling you, people just don't know.
yeah,
Like
and
it
for
was
us,
just
it's been good for us as far
it
as
really
the
has.
being indoors.
Now I'm like, everybody's outside. I'm like looking out my door.
I
Everybody's
know.
outside.
And
And
I'm
just
like,
close the
I
curtains.
kid you not. The first time I went outside after being indoors for like weeks, I hadn't gone outside. And I went outside. It was like 1 or 2. And I was like, oh my God, the sun. And I'm like this. And even now, like I have this art, I have my light on here because normally I don't even have that on.
I know. I don't
I
even have
usually
that.
just have my
I
blinds open halfway. So it's still dark in here. You just have
know. I'm good with that. I have like this little teeny light that just shines on my keyboard so I can tell I do not know.
I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Well, that is it for today.
All right.
Thank you so much for letting
Thank
me
you for
interrupt your day.
having me.
Um, we will be on the lookout for you. Guys, click the link in my bio, click the links below. Make sure you get the Deadly Secrets series and Dreamwalkers,
Yes.
the zombie series.
The zombie series.
And remind me to go ahead and read it. We should start a book club so we can all read
Yeah,
it together.
we should start a book club so we can actually read our books.
Yeah, read them
Yeah,
together. Mhm.
yeah. We're gonna have to do that.
Yeah, I like that. Wheels are turning.
Good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'm signing off.
All
Thank
right.
you again, and I'll
Thank
talk to you
you.
soon.
Thank you.